Oh, you can hear it?
Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome to YaLa Online Peace Conference. The peace process continues online. Okay, so we are joined by a beautiful array of YaLa members. Please introduce yourselves.
Ahmed al I'm an Egyptian peace activist. I work with the YaLa Young Leaders since the early start 3 years ago, and I'm proud of it. And I'm so happy that I'm with the YaLa Young Leaders until this very moment. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Ahmed.
YaLa Cafe and the co-manager of the Enlightened Minds. And I'm so happy to celebrate with you the third YaLaversary.
Thank you. Sarah.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I work for YaLa Young Leaders, also blogging for YaLa Cafe. I'm very happy to see you all here, and YaLa anniversary is always a good occasion to party and talk with friends from all around the region. So happy to be here with you.
And hi everyone, I'm Yael. I'm from Israel. I also work at YaLa Young Leaders, and I'll be the moderator for this chat, which the topic will be, and the peace process continues online. So we're going to get started with our first question. Among us today are some of the best and most active YaLa members, and we're celebrating YaLa's third birthday with our online annual peace conference. And we want to hear from our members what peace means to them and how they make peace in their region. So we're going to get started with the role of the internet. To what extent does the internet play a role in your peace activist efforts, and how do you see the future of that changing and its importance? And does it play a role in things like real-life negotiations, such as the last round of negotiations we had in Israel and Palestine? So whoever wants to start off with that, I'll be glad to hear your thoughts.
You decide.
Ahmed, you.
Right. The role of internet and social media. In all honesty, what made me the activist I became today is the social media and the Facebook and the YaLa Young Leaders Facebook page, because it helped us to connect and reach out to one another. But I believe that after 3 years of work now on activism and social media, that social media is just a tool, not a goal. It's not everything, it is something. The social media is what brought us here, and social media is a step. We should go to another step, which is the field work, like conferences and meeting one another, and this is what we are trying to do. The social media has a huge and tremendous effect now on governments in taking their decisions, and especially when it comes to conflicts. And as you can tell, if you see the aggression of the government in the early 2000s has become declined big time because of the social media. Social media has an important role on connecting the people together, especially the young generation, which brings them together and makes government think twice before taking any action. So it's our role now to engage more and more on social media, but at the same time we have to take it to the next step the next level and make it to the ground, make it tangible, so governments can take us seriously. And I will give you a brief example. A couple of years ago, the Israeli government was threatening to bomb Iran and doing serious stuff. And then came a guy out of nowhere, Ronnie Edwards, who's very famous activist now, came out with a small banner that we love
Speak a little louder, Ahmed, please.
I believe that. Okay, can you give me 1 minute? Just 1 minute. I will change from my fancy tablet to my computer because
No, we can hear you.
My fancy tablet is not.
We can hear you now, but it's cutting out a little bit.
So,
just try to speak as close to the mic as you can.
So, no, trust me, the computer would be better. So, give me just 1 minute. I'm sorry, guys.
No, continue.
So, Muhammad, you can start.
Continue what you were saying, and you can change when someone else is answering, because we can hear you now. It's just goes in and out.
Okay, so I'll start from the. Okay, a couple of years ago, the Israeli government was threatening to bomb down Iran because of their nuclear program. But Ronnie Edry, an Israeli guy, came from Yafa and did the We Love You campaign on Facebook, which went viral. Everyone was sharing and promoting this banner that created the Israel loves Iran, and then Israel loves Palestine, and Palestine loves Iran, and Egypt loves Israel, and Israel loves Egypt, and it became viral to more than 1 million, 2 million people all over the world. So social media is a very, very powerful tool, but it's not a goal. Social media brings us together, yes, but we have to take it to the next step, to the next level, and make it to the ground, so we can know each other's face to face on the human basis, because Skyping and using Hangouts is closer to being face to face as humans, but it's not like meeting people.
Thank you, Ahmed.
You're most welcome.
Who wants to answer that next? Abu Bakr.
Okay. As Ahmed noted, social media can be very, very powerful tool and could be utilized more to put more pressure on governments, as involving youth as second track of negotiation can be. Okay, what's going on? Sarah?
Shit, is this sirens or what?
Oh, that was terrible.
Okay, should I start over or what?
Start over, Mohammed. You can start over. Thank you.
Right. Okay. What was I talking about? All right. Social media can be very powerful and could be utilized more. More pressure on governments and especially in activating youth as second track of negotiation. We did good with No More Excuses campaign, and there are millions of other examples of using social media to pressure governments, but it's not enough. It could be utilized to do a lot more. As we have seen, Facebook alone was the main tool of the Arab Spring revolution. So yeah, we could do a lot more with social media than we are doing right now. And Iran loves Israel, and a lot of other online initiatives prove the theory. So yeah, we gotta engage the Israeli, the Palestinian, the Arab youth a lot more to make this happen, to make peace happen.
And on that note, we'll hear from some of our Israeli and Palestinian youth, Henriette and Hamza.
Come on, guys.
I want to add to the things that Muhammad said, that in addition to having a bigger weight with government and with policy, I think at least what social media did for me when it comes to political activism is for the first time I was able to feel part of a regional community, having being a Palestinian living in Israel, Palestinian Israeli, as I would like to refer to myself, from the Arab world. The only interaction I had was with a one-sided TV screen, and with social media, I feel like I can suddenly gain this window, but literally like a window into the lives of people who are living in the region, and also a window of opportunity to develop my ties with these people. So I think social media in that sense, and create this community like YaLa is doing, people to pressure our governments into accepting and into working for a different reality, the kind of reality that we deserve as young people.
Yeah, I agree with Henriette. Even I'm living in Palestine and almost purely Arab environment. I never took a chance to speak with other Arabs before the internet, and I think it was very rare also for my parents to speak. We got more information and more knowledge about the Middle East and the North African region, as well as with Israel. I think the internet is an equal kind of communication among us, which is there like before the internet. Our parents used to meet each other, but never as equal communicators. Now we can talk and argue positively or negatively as equal through the internet.
And do you guys think that it played a role in the last negotiations? Nimrod. Oh, I was asking, do you feel that social media has played a role in the last Israeli negotiations? Did it reach the negotiating table? Was it a force reckoned with? Was there something that needed to be done differently? And are these things effective in changing the reality on the ground? Are these things effective?
If you could Palestinian and Israeli negotiators know each other from intelligence services, that is the human theory, I think our generation has the chance to know the other side in normal, natural way, which will be like much human and natural, useful than the way our negotiators usually each other.
Who wants to answer the question next? Thank you, Henriette and Hamza.
Yael, Ahmed is asking to be added back to the conversation.
Sorry, can you hear me?
All right.
Nimrod, from an Israeli perspective, Nimrod and Sarah, from an Israeli perspective, is there something you would like to add?
Yael, did you hear me?
Yael?
Yeah.
Yael?
Yes.
You hear? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Okay, can you just repeat the question for a second because I had a bad connection and couldn't hear you before.
No problem.
Yeah. Before answering, Yael, Ahmed is asking to be added back to the conversation.
I added him. I added him.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Sarah, we can hear you well. I'll repeat the question.
Thank you.
We were just discussing the effects of social media, and do we think that it plays a role in real life negotiations, and if it actually had an impact in the past Israeli-Palestinian negotiations, despite the fact that they ended unsuccessfully, did social media be able to get to reach the negotiators to actually be able to change something on the ground? Or was there something more that needed to be done, and how does that impact real life? I think we're just exploring that issue.
Okay. I think that one of the things that is really lacking in the MENA region that we don't know each other at all. We can talk about the European youth because they learn about each other history all the time, and it's easy for them to meet and to get in touch. And for us, yes, we are part of the MENA region and we have so much in common. We never get to realize that. Also because leaders don't talk to us about the rest of the world. They talk to us also about people in the region always as enemies, always as people, not as partners. And we can do better than that because of the internet. We can actually get to be the MENA region youth. And we can actually get to know each other, to understand each other, and to realize we have that much in common, which our leaders don't do. They don't do that regional thing we're desperately missing. They don't talk as regions, they talk about individuals, and they do everything to let us in our close communities or in our nationalities without really expanding the community meaning to the whole region. And through the internet, we can fill that gap. Get to know each other, realize we're one community, realize we have a lot in common, and work for the common good. And hopefully, when we'll get to know each other enough, when enough people will be online and get to all those information that gives a good balance to all the propaganda we're all fed with every day, maybe the leaders will realize they'll have to deal with real people on the ground who know each other and who want to work together.
That's a really interesting and important point. And I think that's a good message. Yes, Mohammed?
No, it was me talking. I said very well said. Yeah, very well said.
Yes, it's an important message for our youth today to realize that they have these tools and that they need to use them. And when more people use them, perhaps it'll have a greater effect on changing something like the failed Israeli-Palestinian negotiations. Nimrod, we want to hear from you.
First of all, I mean, I definitely agree with what's been said. I think one of the things that's missing from this this equation, so we have this amazing set of tools and we get to know each other, and one of the most astounding things of being on YaLa is meeting so many unbelievably powerful and brilliant individuals from across the region, which we wouldn't have known otherwise. But I think one of the problems is in trying to impact something like negotiations is that up till now we lack real power. I mean, we communicate, we build these bridges, but the actual force which is needed to impact processes like negotiations or political processes in our own country is less those as one power out of nothing. Where do we find factors that do have power and are willing to put their stakes in with us? Whether it be, you know, we're talking about these tools belong to people with a lot of power, whether it's Google, where we're hanging out now, or Facebook, or whatever. And as long as those players don't get behind us, or equal players of equal standing, then I think that we'll have these amazing connections, but we won't be able to impact the actual processes on the ground.
Well, that brings us to our next question. But I would like to hear from Rahma. She has anything
Well,
to add?
yeah, well, I think with more than 43 million people, Arab people on Facebook, and about 3.5 Israelis on Facebook, we have plenty of people to shape the public opinion. But I agree with Nimrod. I think that we don't have power. We can have an excellent space to communicate, but we need to influence the Israeli policy or the Palestinian policy. We need power, and this is what we lack in YaLa.
So then I'll bring us to our next question, which is a very important one, and it's one that you guys brought up essentially. It's that how can we, the youth of the MENA region, influence policy and take leadership positions in our societies so that we can actually change policy, and we can foster economic regional cooperation, and actually, make something of these new connections and changes. Who wants to start with that?
Can I?
Yes.
Okay, I will start with an example. As most of you, or all of you knows that I blog for the Jerusalem Post, so I meet with a lot of hardcore right-wingers, that very hardcore right-wingers. But I hear this, not a lot, but I hear it, that Ahmed, before we met you, we never had hope in the Arab youth. We never had hope in any of you. So my point is that we can influence the other side, whatever the other side is, but it needs, again, the power. We have the power, but we lack the media attention. No one focuses on our work and activism in peace, and we don't have, again, the media attention. We need
So
media.
through you would say you take a leadership position, or you can influence something by writing blog posts, or by communicating your thoughts through online or traditional media. That's your way of influencing.
This is the first part, Henriette, that yes, we can influence people, but when I went to conferences like in Sarajevo, Morocco, and the United States, this is the bigger part. This is the more important part. This is the more powerful part. When we meet each other's face to face and realize that we all are human beings, and we share the same God. We share a lot of hobbies and habits and music and this and that. We will realize that the differences was only created by the media propaganda and everything else. So the power comes with conferences and taking action on the ground.
I'm asking, what kind of action do we take in order to translate, these new connections?
I will give you an example. I'll give you an example that YaLa Young Leaders did, and I loved it. The booth thing that you did in Tel Aviv.
Advocacy.
Exactly. In the street. You go to people and hand out banners that, come on, we are young generations, that we are away from politics, away from the media and the state policies. We are making our own policies, and we are friends now, and this is the truth. We are friends, and we are making friends, and we have the initiative, we have the intentions to do so. This can give tremendous effect. This is the real effect. But doing this on Facebook, because all of you have to realize that I've seen a lot of people who are very active and great on Facebook and posting pictures and nice stuff, and then they give up. Then they vanish. They stop. Why? Because as I said
But
from
that
the early
happens
beginning,
everywhere.
exactly.
And
This
I
is why.
think it's, yeah, and yeah, no, that's why like it's important to do like regional community book movement, because that's, we talked about it with a friend not long ago about the fact that we can feel very lonely when we're peace activists in the region. That sometimes all of us feel lonely and that they don't have backup in their own community. And we have to kind of cheer each other up all the time to remember we're not alone. And also that sometimes close to us there are also people working for the same thing, but we tend to forget it. And it's very tiring. Like working for peace is much more tiring and challenging than working for hate. But I think that's why we have something like YaLa to cheer each other up once in a while when we need a hug, or like
Look,
to see a familiar face that works like us.
I kinda agree with you, but and Young Leaders, because I've been there since the beginning, and Nimrod will agree with me on this. We had a lot of people who were very, very active, and now they vanished because we didn't take it to the next level. We didn't make it bigger. The thing is, it's not about posting stuff and being nice and pictures, and I love the campaign of the no more excuses and everything, but what else?
That's exactly what we're trying to figure out here, and to inspire our constituents. Does anyone else want to say a few words?
I want to say I think we share this, but I'm a firm believer in collective action, and I think to connect kind of the issue of power and what we can do as young people in the position that we're already in, I think we're already in the first stages of uniting together and recognizing our partners in the struggle, if we so want to call it, the struggle for a same reality in this region. And I think the further we go in the struggle, the more we realize how frustrating it is, and the easier it gets, or the more pressure you have to give up. Um, we all face pressures from the environments we come from, and Sarah, you mentioned that this feeling of being the lonely peace activist, or being misunderstood, or being a minority in your opinion and in your point of view. And there's a lot of power in uniting with other people who think like you, with other people who share your approach. So I think we're already in the first step. But I do agree that we need to think together how we take it to the next level. And rather than let the frustration take over us, we need to remember that we have this valuable network of amazing people, as Imran said, who do want to bring change. And I think, if anything, I agree that we also need a balance of real life events and social media and Facebook events. But the Arab Spring has shown us that we don't need to wait for the media to put the spotlight on us. We don't need to wait for the decision makers to decide that it's their interest now to solve this conflict. I think we have to believe more in the power that we already have as young people and demand our position on the table and demand for them to actually count. In the last peace negotiations, as happy as I was that the peace negotiations were happening, as a young person, I didn't feel that I was being represented enough. I didn't feel like they were asking me what I want from peace or why peace is important to me enough. And I think it's our job to kind of demand for ours to be heard. Yeah, that's what I have to add. I still haven't figured out exactly how, but that's what we're here for.
But that's why we're here, exactly. We're trying to figure it out together.
Muhammad,
Yeah.
I want to hear you out.
All right. I think policies respond only, in my opinion, to effective lobbying. And for that, I think we should maybe establish a regional lobby, a pack like J Street, for example, a regional lobby to make our ideas heard by the politicians and effectively affect policies. That's what I think. And for that, we will need, like Nimrod noted, partners like Google and other partners, international and regional. I think that's the only way we can make real change on the ground. That's how we can take it to the next level, as Ahmed said.
That's a very interesting idea. Maybe
yes.
Nemo. Oh, Hamza. Yeah.
Yes. I want to add that people are, the young people are overexcited and they expect things to change. I think this is a bit unrealistic. They should understand that all the internet and social media is still new, and for the first time the youth are united for peace and regional collaboration, which is really new, and we still confused. We still don't know what we really want. So we should not expect a dramatic change. We should keep the connection and the debate. Otherwise, we will fail on the Arab Spring problem. Which people went to the street and after they got access to social media, they organized demonstrations, but we didn't change the situation. Here, using the social media for peace, I think we could keep it natural and slowly growing until, yes, this is not realistic. We have been in disconnected, brainwashed for ages. We can't expect one night that we know each other and share with each other the same day.
Yes.
Yes, what?
No, he brought up really important and difficult things that we're struggling against.
No, I'm sorry. No, the thing is, I couldn't hear him well. This is something wrong with the microphone or the internet connection of Hamza. So can you, Hamza, repeat what you said? Because seriously, I didn't hear. I heard. I don't know.
I'm screaming now.
Yeah, try to scream louder. It's for peace. Come on, don't worry.
Yeah.
Anything for peace.
How do we scream for peace? Okay. So to summarize, I think that young people need to be realistic in order to not lose their excitement. They need to understand that this is a slow process, especially that we just started a brand new strategy in the region. Strategy of young people working for peace and regional collaboration, which is really not an easy thing. People expect that they will change the situation in one night, and we don't change it with disparate and fake. But if we understand that this is a long process, maybe they will be more patient and more happy doing the slow change, which is better than nothing. I hope I was explaining well.
Can I ask something?
Please.
The thing also, what I realize that we're really lacking is the fact that we don't have any inspirational figure to follow. I'm talking here for the Israeli-Palestinian situation. We don't have a leader who inspires us. We don't have a main young leader who believes in peace and who is a public figure and who I feel when he speaks in public, he speaks for me too. And
be this public figure.
Exactly. And not having that is very confusing because in a way we're kind of waiting for that, and the public figures we have, the leaders we have, when they speak, I don't recognize myself in them. And also they never talk about peace as a concrete thing. And they never feel like leading our people towards peace and towards a better future. And that's why sometimes it feels like an even bigger challenge, because we have to be our own reference. We have to be our own leaders. And we have to endorse the role of a leading figure for peace for the younger generation even, and also for our peers. And I think, yes, it's scary and it makes the challenge even bigger. And it's even more confusing because we don't have anyone to lead us but ourselves. And I think that's why we need to support each other, and we need to organize each other, and we need to realize that we cannot wait for a public figure to lead us towards a better future, that we have to do it ourselves. And as scary as it is, I think that's our best shot.
We don't
I
have it, YaLa.
I 100% agree with you. Seriously, Sarah. Yeah, you nailed it. We can seriously, because we can't wait for a public figure. We need, yes, a leader and a public figure, but we cannot
Yeah,
wait because they will
about
disappoint us
doing
all.
politics.
But Rahma can be our public figure and leader.
Totally.
I would vote
I'm
for
so
her.
voting Rahma.
I will vote for Rahma.
Sarah, have you ever thought about doing politics in Israel?
No, because it's,
There's
politicians
no
in the Middle East.
incentive.
It's ego-led and all white men and in Israel, and but
All
in a
white.
way I think good people need to do politics too. And it's
Yes.
weird because right now I don't think there are so many good people in politics in our region.
And I want to add to what
Yeah.
Sarah just said. One of the things as a peace activist in the activism community, that two things beside the social media that you have to put in mind and you have to really consider. One is studying history, not just your own history, both histories, and be very accurate in which history books you are reading, because there is, as you already know, biased history, because history is like his story. So you need to be very good in history, because you have to understand and to realize that history always repeats itself. This is the number one tool. Second, you have to be involved in politics, not to be a politician, but at least to know what the hell is going on around you on a daily basis when it comes to politics. Because if you have the history in your knowledge with the follow-up on politics, first of all, you will not be surprised with anything that happens today, because you already know the history, and history repeats itself. So you can easily connect the dots of politics, of what's happening today around you because of history, and you can easily predict the consequences or the aftermath of what politics happened, yani what the events of today's politics happens. Like for me, for instance, for Egypt, when this happened, when Sisi becomes the officially named the president, definitely it will be a military state. Why? Because history repeats itself. Because I'm familiar with the Egyptian history. So as a peace activist, because this is very important, people, when you talk about peace with anyone, he or she will ask you and rain you with questions about this and that, and about the conflict, and about the past, and about the present, and about the wars, and about this and about that. How you can answer all of this if you don't know the history and if you don't know the politics?
It's a very good point, Ahmed. I would like to thank you guys all for discussing these really interesting topics. And there's no solution. We see that we need to continue working. I want to go through each one of you and have some closing remarks on maybe a blessing you'd like to say for the future of peace for 2014. Just to tell the people watching, to continue what they're doing, and it's hard work, but we're a family. If you don't have support in your hometown, at least we can come online and everyone can talk, and we can, feel like we're a part of something and we're working towards something together. So we can just have a closing remark from each one of the participants. That would be great, and I'm so happy to see you guys all here.
and I'm happy to see all of you here. And without YaLa Young Leaders, honestly, after Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, even if it wasn't because of YaLa Young Leaders, I would be in Dubai, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, making money as an accountant because I have a bachelor degree in accounting. So thank you, YaLa Young Leaders, for making me the activist I became today. Because
Thank you,
this,
Ahmed. We appreciate your participation, and we're always glad to see you here.
and I'm glad to be with all of you guys because you are my family, my true family. I mean it from my heart.
Thank you.
Muhammad, jump in.
Oh, yeah, sure. Mohammed, your microphone. It's muted.
He became mute. What happened to him?
He's
Muhammad,
speaking to himself.
I can't hear you.
No, he muted himself. Let's go to Henriette and Hamza.
Okay.
So thank you very much. I think we YaLa as an idea started 2 years ago. Once it started, will never end. It will grow in different ways. We don't know what it will reach, but we are happy it started, and young people have one step.
What?
Want to happy for them to be part of this YaLaversary, YaLa celebration. And I'm so happy to have met you guys. It's really a significant step for us to be part of the same network, working towards the same goal. And as Hamza said, it's the beginning, it's the initial. We keep asking ourselves how we can make ourselves better. And we have to, support each other in the process. So, yeah, it's only our third birthday, guys. A 3-year-old can barely walk, so we're growing.
Exactly.
And I want to take a selfie of this conversation. Can we do that? I don't know how.
You can take a screenshot.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
I just took a picture. You guys can see it at the bottom. Everyone smile.
Smile. All right.
Sarah?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes?
Okay, Mohammed, you're back with
Yeah.
us?
Everyone?
We can hear you, Mohammed?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Alhamdulillah, we can hear you. Sorry, Ahmed.
Okay, I just would like to close with again happy anniversary, and to all people who are feeling alone in their small villages everywhere. If you feel alone, just come and hang out with us. The internet breaks all the barriers, and you can make a lot more like-minded friends online than you can do in your small villages. And stay strong and keep supporting peace.
Yes. Amen to that.
Rahma.
Yes. Well, as all of you said, YaLa is just a start to this process. It's a very complicated process, and till now, I believe that we're doing really, really well. I am so happy that we got the Nelson Mandela Peace Institute because I believe that the best solution to this conflict goes through education. I am so glad I met you all. We are now a minority, but one day we will grow and we can change things. And I invite, as Muhammad did, any person who believes in peace in MENA region to join us. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. I love that. Who else?
I travel very fast.
Oh my God!
Sarah, you can say hi.
Hi, my connection died far away, so I went very fast. As a conclusion, I really wanted to wish everyone a happy year anniversary. As Hanaya said, we're only 3 years old. We've done a lot, but we are not done growing up. I'm really looking forward to the time when we're going to stop calling it a peace movement, but not only a regional movement. It's only going to be about young people talking to each other. It's going to seem normal. Also, like, our peace leaders did a very, very bad job at working in peace. But we're actually doing better every single day online. So we can be very proud of ourselves. And if there are some newcomers watching this video, you don't have to agree with everything we say. You don't have to be totally pro peace and trusting everyone yet. Just come, be curious, talk to us, get to know us, and welcome in the family. It's really how it works, and it's really about being being surrounded by amazing people in the region. It's extremely inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sarah.
I think we should give everyone a round of applause.
Okay. One thing. In all voice, in one time, all of us will say happy anniversary. So I will count to 3.
Okay.
All right.
Muhammad, Ahmed, just wait a second. I just want to remind you all that we are now about 500,000 of people all around the world in YaLa. So this is really big.
I remember when we were just a couple of thousands. So
Yeah.
reaching 500,000, this is a huge achievement. And
Yeah. Start the
inshallah, we're
countdown.
gonna
Start the
achieve more.
countdown.
You don't want me to talk?
No.
Oh my God, am I that boring?
No. Sarah has just 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh, my next plane ticket was to Tunisia. All right.
Happy
3, 2, 1. Happy anniversary! Woo!
Bye, everyone. Bye.
We are 500,000 people. Inshallah, we're gonna reach 5 million. Nice meeting you all, hearing you all, being with you. You are my family.
Thank you, Ahmed.
Yeah. Take care of yourselves, guys. Muhammad, on the private chat. Yalla.
Hello, everybody. You know, in today's world,